the technology that's available now that wasn't available in the past. Like if I had had this accident 100 years ago or 50 years ago, would they have done surgery and put metal plates into my arm to fix it? But just a few years ago, if I was in the same situation, going to in a hospital for a week and a nursing home for several weeks, I would have had to find a phone, a telephone, to call people, a landline. And I've had to know their phone numbers and call them. If I wanted to make a documentary about myself recuperating, I'd have to hire a film crew to roll film on it and develop that film in chemicals and edit it by cutting the film apart and putting it together and distributing it. God knows how. You would never distribute it. You'd have to get a deal and sell it and get it on television, which is like, who on earth would ever give a shit? No one would ever pay a dime for that. But now, because of the iPhone and because of YouTube, I can film myself really at high quality, actually. And you can hear me and you can see me. I can show whatever I want. Other technology like my iPole here that holds the camera, my little Cine arm that I brought from home that can really hold it in the perfect place for me. Final Cut Pro that lets me edit with a laptop, you know, the size of a fat Vogue magazine. And I can edit video and do special effects and superimpose things and add music and everything else. It's really just, it's a magical age that I can communicate with you so well and so easily with so little equipment. I can literally carry all of it in one hand and power it all with one plug. It's kind of a miracle that I have this technology. And I think people around the world are probably using the same technology to do much more important, better things, to communicate things that actually matter. This is all self-indulgent. This is all just me filling my time and trying to educate and illuminate you with my pathetic observations and self-pity. But people could be saying things that are actually important with these media and sharing them and getting them out there. And thank you, YouTube, my God, that people out there can just stumble upon something like this and maybe take an interest. That the world is so vast and the audience of YouTube is so vast that there are enough people out there that there's an audience for this asshole sitting around a nursing home taking Instagram pictures of his fucking breakfast every day. I am connected with the whole world through this thing, through this iPhone and the computer that I use to put it all together. I'm able to get in and pay my bills online. I'm able to communicate with my friends all over the world. I mean, I've always been an early adopter. I've always been someone who figures out technology and uses it. And I guess I'm a pretty advanced user of all this stuff because I'm able to kind of master all these elements and make something out of it. A lot of people couldn't do that. I mean, most of these people here, it's a different generation. They don't have computers or phones, but that's what I can do today in 2014. What if this happened to me in 2030? What would it be like? You know, by then the phone would be at least as smart as the laptop. The laptop would be at least as smart as my computer at home. And my computer at home would be smarter than all my friends put together, probably. By 2030, a lot of these nurses might be robots, you know. This might be a bionic thing that just works perfectly, just like, you know, like Luke Skywalker, bzz, 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 you know. I mean, some of this stuff is the promise of old science fiction, like Star Trek or the Jetsons. Everyone talks on video phones. There's video screens everywhere, and people just talk, and it's perfect. I can do that on this phone. I can do FaceTime and talk to my kids. The thing is, it's just sort of sketchy and blotchy, and it breaks up, and you lose them. It doesn't work that well. Maybe that's the future. I mean, you know, 80 years ago, talking on the phone was like that. You'd lose them. Used to be you dropped calls all the time. Now, not so much. People always predicted flying cars and robot butlers and micro submarines and stuff like that. But really what we get is tiny, really smart phones that are computers that can do lots and lots of crazy things that we never expected to need to do. I downloaded the TV Guide app last night to find out what time Mad Men was going to be on. Of course, then I fell asleep during Cosmos and missed the first half of Mad Men, so, you know. If only there was a way I could rewind that and watch it again. Well, there is. It's a TiVo. It's not here, of course. But I bet if I put my mind to it, I could find a service online like Hulu or something where I could watch those shows at my command, right here on my goddamn phone. I sat here last night right on this very spot with my headphones and watched Game of Thrones Episode 3 on this very phone. Sure, it's not a big screen experience, but still Game of Thrones. And there's the sunrise. So here's to the future, here's to now, here's to technology, here's to iPhones, here's to Macintosh, here's to YouTube that lets me share this with you. Here's to the worldwide audience that's big enough that everyone can find an audience. If you enjoy these random rants, please like and subscribe. And a lot of people who do daily vlogs, they have advice Mondays and how-to Tuesdays and things like that. Should I do that? Should I have a daily thing maybe? I mean, pretty much my structure is I roll out here at 6 o'clock in the morning and whatever's on my mind is what I say. If someone comes and visits me, I make a video about that. I don't know when I wake up what I'm going to make today's video about. But I would definitely be inspired by your questions or your comments. So be sure to leave some of those. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.